Good morning, everyone. So Dr. Mahapatra and Dr. Ashokji, thank you so much for setting up the context, and thank you for attending this event. This was very insightful and pragmatic, from the ground, what you observed. So I'm also, collected certain things around the similar lines, what you spoke and Dr. Mahapatra and Ashokji spoke. So I would like to share my thoughts around that. So thank you very much, AGI, for giving me this opportunity for talking to you today morning. So, so primarily I thought to cover actually these four pillars, when we talk about geospatial, success, geospatial studies success. Am I, okay, geospatial studies success. Dr. Mahapatra talked about open data and governance. I think I also captured the same point that this is very fundamental, this is very important issue. For any GIS user in the country, whether they are GIS experts or whether they are business experts who want to harness location technology or GIS expertise, data becomes very, very important. And I think with the new geospatial policy, that is happening today. That is happening in fact. So open data and governance aspects are also very important. So primarily what happened that as per the guideline, of global practices, data, people are following FAIR principles. Data should be findable, accessible, interoperable, reusable. I think all of us are aware. So this is very important aspect, from all kind of data sets, whether it is government or privately created data set, that it should be made available in a right platform and where people should be able to utilize that very fast without getting into a lot of data processing. It should be available as a service directly to all students, research scholars, users, and various departments. So that is very important, and that's happening actually. The second aspect, which is again most important aspect, is geospatial infrastructure. So primarily when we want to make this technology, make this data enabled and accessible by all the users of different background, technology and platform plays very, very important role. So in fact, fundamental aspects, considerations when we talk about technology platform is it should be open platform. Everyone should be able to access data without any issue. It's scalable and secured, because as many users are going to access, millions of users are going to access data from this platform or services from this platform, the platform should be secured and scalable. Very important aspect, And so I'm trying to pull out these things based on certain experience when we set up, global, in various countries, different level of platform at national level. So I pulled out certain things and then thought to share with you today. Then another important aspect actually is in geospatial industries, which is happening in last 1 decade. There are a lot of advanced technology integrations are happening, which is very important. Now GIS is no more just maps and tables. There are a lot of advanced technology integration happening, which is making this business outcomes very, very fruitful. So that is also a consideration for discussions today. Then apart from that, the third angle, actually third pillar is solutions. Any technology or platform is not really, it will not give fruitful outcome or business benefit unless the business, requirements, business challenges or problems are actually, integrated. Workflows are created, applications are created to solve the, end user challenges or ground level challenges. So solutions plays very important. And when we talk about solutions, typical stakeholders are users, startups, developers, or different people who are working around this area. Then the fourth pillar, again, which is also very important and it plays very important role in harnessing the power of this technology, is capacity building. Where again, users, academia, and industry are together. Collaboration is very, very important, highly important for this to achieve this. Now, when we talk about this advanced technology integrations, I thought to touch upon a couple of topics here, not in very detail, but just touching those couple of topics. That what is important for geospatial domain and what is happening actually, what is happening in last 1 decade. So, if you talk about if you talk about GIS technology, in last 1 decade. See, I remember when we started GIS, using GIS, couple of decades back. It was just maps and tables, and we used to have nice, colorful maps. GIS department used to print those maps and, people are used to take decisions on papers. But now in last, especially last 1 decade, a lot of changes happened in this technology framework globally. And if you see a couple of these points, probably you will see that, data is becoming big. It's no more desktop and no more, small GIS system. It's big data now. And we have many examples and many users who are using big data integrated in geospatial technology. And they harness power of big data and geospatial together. Very, very important aspect because data size is growing, tremendously. So then GUI machine learning. I think Dr. Mahapatra also talked about it and Ashok also talked about it. I think India is the place where, a lot of development and research and innovation is happening around AI. And when we integrate AI, harness power of AI, machine learning and deep learning in, GIS, geospatial field, it adds a lot of value. So what initiative we have taken in the country is we have R&D center in India, which is actually working around AI, machine learning, deep learning, or GUI concept, and evolving the global products. It's a very interesting experience. And we have developed many machine learning, deep learning models, which GIS user can directly use, can download and use. I'll share those thoughts also around that. Imagery and remote sensing, I think this is a traditional subject, but there's a lot of innovation happening in this subject in the last, couple of years or decade. And it is making an impact. Maybe because of, we have a lot of, good compute power available today, and we can process large imagery, large raster, and, those kind of data sets easily using, and use AI, machine learning and those techniques. So this is really a great, time to utilize and harness those powers within geospatial ecosystem. Then you have cloud computing. I think the traditional, on-premise architecture is slowly actually, moving towards cloud because, end user need to focus on business processes and outcomes rather than struggling, to manage hardware and software and data and all those things. Those can be managed by, experts, in the behind. So that's also coming up actually. And this is a global scenario. This is not only in India or any one country. It's a global scenario in learning, what we are experiencing. Now, when we talk about GIS today, you see all kind of data sets. Apart from vector and raster, you will see big data. I talked about the 3D, IoT. Now GIS are very well integrated with IoT, real-time sensors data, which is happening in many examples, worldwide and India also. Then we have LiDAR and point cloud. GIS technology is capable to process everything. Now there is no more, separate imagery and separate, GIS. It's all integrated platform now today. You have CAD and BIM data also getting inside. Whether you have inside building or outside building, you can have everything, integrated within the geospatial platform. That's really a power of geospatial today. And honestly, all of us should harness this power for getting the business outcomes, which makes actually this technology much more useful. I also thought to share that in spatial, analytics, a lot of, advancement happening, worldwide. And interesting part is that if you see predictive modeling, now geospatial, technology, geospatial experts, they are well versed with this, and they can do predictive modeling from within geospatial, technology. So this gives a lot of power actually for decision making, and makes GIS very useful. Spatial temporal we have been doing, all of us are doing for many years, and this is also adding a lot of value. Interactive analytics, graph analytics, big data I also talked about already, machine learning AI talked. So all these analytics are adding a lot of value to geospatial ecosystem. And this is not difficult today. We need not to be data scientists, right, to harness the power of machine learning. If I am a GIS expert, today technology is available, integrated, people can harness the power. So I especially thought to give some highlights about this usage of machine learning, deep learning and AI in our GIS ecosystem. So I thought I will just brief something. As I mentioned, that we have taken this initiative, around a decade back where we started actually, harnessing all data science library toolkits. If you see on the right side, on the right bottom side, you have all open source, data science libraries and toolkits. And believe me, all AI, machine learning and deep learning experts, they know this ecosystem very well. They understand this. Only thing is what we are making easier actually for them, they harness power of geospatial also, from that, from their ecosystem, and vice versa. For example, if you have GIS expert or GIS community or users, without understanding, getting deep into deep learning, science, they can also harness deep learning capabilities within the GIS framework itself, which is really giving a lot of good results to us and to the users around the world. And in India, what we have done, I mean, now globally, we have around 60 plus machine learning, deep learning models, which are available to all users, everyone. It's open source, and where you can download those models, and then you can, fine tune, and then, test it out again and refine it, and you can use it in your applications. There are many, in terms of environmental science, in terms of, starting from basic building a boundary extraction or, tree interpolation. There are so many things happening in this. So these models are really interesting, and if anybody is interested, please go through this. This is openly available on arcgis.com website. So this was an initiative we thought that this will add a lot of value, and what we experienced that this is really adding a lot of value. Now I will quickly cover that when we talk about the setting of the national or state level geo platform or harnessing power of GIS, geospatial technology, it has to be, platform has to be very scalable and secure. Because with the opening up of the data, primarily number of users are getting increased. Interestingly, I would like to share one thing with you. We have set up, after geospatial policy was announced, we have set up an India server on cloud, where we have opened a lot of data, in partnership with the government. And we have got around, now we are getting around 50 million hits to that server. We have scaled up this architecture 2 times, in fact, and we found that its scalability and security is very, very important. This was a very good example, and a lot of people are accessing this data now freely as a service directly. I also thought to cover that, when we talk about geospatial framework, we should actually also, consider integrated SDG framework, and then, UNGGIM framework, which is also very important when we design the architecture or, set up the enterprise systems. And I think all of you are aware that this is making an impact, and geospatial policy also accepted this framework. Now, WebGIS actually is making the life different now, which is actually so powerful that it can integrate all these aspects very well, which is happening actually. So now I also thought to cover that how in India, primarily we can actually approach in terms of innovation framework, because when we talk about any system, innovation, plays a big role. So the key aspect was that open platform for hosting geospatial innovation challenges, where users like students and research scholars and startups and developers, they can access entire India data layers, they can access tools, they can, create use cases, government department can throw the problem to them, run hackathon, and then the user community and, innovation, young mind, they can create a lot of, innovative apps and solutions for the country if data is available and if, these things are available. That was the reason actually for us to making and setting up this open data platform, in India. So we have also actually, made this available that, people can do 2 kinds of development actually. Developers can do no code, low code. They can just configure. If let's say I'm the business user, I will not get into deep coding. I can solve my business challenges just by configuration, which is really happening, now in many, countries, and in India also, many places. Many examples are like this. People who are actually hardcore, they want to integrate at API level. So these APIs are made open actually. Now they can do that. They can integrate. People with any background, whether they are from Java background, they are from, Windows background, open source APIs or Python APIs. So many. I think they can harness this technology very well from any angle, any developer. So that was the reason actually for architecting and creating this. One more thing I would like to touch quickly is capacity building. As I talked, one initiative we have taken here globally and in India also, we have made ArcGIS Learn portal, which is actually freely available. Learn ArcGIS. So hundreds of courses are available, which anybody can access. So we are actually experimenting this with various government departments, and users are getting benefit. So as they can attend self-paced courses in couple of hours courses to couple of days courses also, and they can actually get certification, and then they can learn a lot of things. So they get access to tools, they get access to data, and they can actually get training, which is actually we found very, very useful. We made it actually role-based. Users, whether you are user, GIS professional, teacher, professor, student, or data scientist. So these different personas can access different relevant courses. So I spoke about a couple of these points, so design and implementation of federated geo platform. I think this is very important when we want to have collaboration. Federation is important. When I say federation means collaborating, different system of systems. You have different systems, different 14 thematic agencies or different states are collaborating. So everybody is federating actually and sharing information openly. And then, as I talked, we should also consider advanced technology platform integrations, open platform, and scalable secured architecture, integrating all UNGGIM framework, and integrated innovation framework, learning and capacity building framework. And we architected this also, and we experimented this. This is working in fact, which is a great aspect, and I think this will really help.